Alrighty, here we are for the last time this weekend. Oh shoot, I just realized I don't even have Desmond up. What am I doing? You guys just see a picture of a freaking groundhog. And also my taskbar. And time and day. But actually no, you didn't even see the taskbar. Never mind. I'm tweaking. Let me get why is my chat not up? OBS has been tweaking tonight. I don't know what's going on. I made like 2 streams and then OBS is on one tonight, but hopefully it won't hinder anything. Alrighty. Alright. Let me just make sure that we get some folks in here. Whoa. My bad. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. Alright. We're live. We're definitely live. So, I mean, yeah, I don't have much else to do tonight. We're gonna go. I might go above 2,000. I might go to 2,100. Do an extra 100 encounters than I think I usually would. But I think 2,000 is my mark for now. If I want to go to 2,100, I'll go to 2,100. But I think that's about as much as we're gonna do this stream for Weekend Encounters. And if it doesn't happen tonight, we're gonna have to pick this up again this weekend. But otherwise, yeah. All right. So yeah, that's about it. Let's get started. I got my counter up. I got a YouTube video up on the side because I'm a little iPad kid. I've got Ho staring at me over here. And I've got a Suicune to get. I got a shiny Suicune to get, more importantly. Alright. Let's hope we get some people in here, but for now, we're going to get started. We start at 1250. We end at either 2,000 or 2,100, or until Suicune shines. Whichever happens first. Let's go. And we're doing this. Hoping to get a couple people in chat tonight, but you know, who knows? People could be busy or already in bed because of school and all that crap. I feel indifferent about it happening tonight, the shiny. I don't think it's going to. Just statistically speaking, I would be wrong to think that it was going to happen tonight. But if it did by some miracle, I don't know how I'd feel, because I feel like I would go my whole week at school just itching to play the rest of this game, but not being able to, knowing that I have, you know, all the Pokemon that I want. And I just gotta wait until, you know, Thursday, or this Thursday comes by to, you know, finish the game. Versus if I don't get it, you know, all I'm looking forward to is just hunting this weekend again, which obviously I would, you know, be itching to get at too, but not as much as finishing the game. That being said, I would not mind this weekend showing up. I can be patient in either regard, I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm not sure if any of what I just said makes sense, but yeah. Already already made it through 11 encounters, not even 10, 11. So that went by really quick. This is my first impression of this channel, and I know these runs are pain to go through, so I hope you will succeed in the Suicune hunt. Thank you! I appreciate it. This is actually my last hunt of the entire challenge. I technically have a full team. I'll go through my full team right now. I have Shiny Meganium, I have Shiny Crobat, Shiny Nidoking, Shiny Espeon, the Shiny Lake of Rage Gyarados, and the Shiny Ho-Oh. So I already have a full team, but because the Lake of Rage Gyarados is a guaranteed encounter, and because the couple chat members that I do get voted on it, we're doing a bonus hunt, and we're gonna get Suicune. I got no Master Ball, but I have a bunch of Net Balls and a Ho-Oh with Thunder Wave, so we're gonna pray we don't fail it. Well, that was the case with my Crobat hunt. I was going for either a Geodude or a Zubat, and I would have taken whichever one I got. I wouldn't have cared either way. Um, but with the Nidoran, I needed to get a Nidoran because I needed it specifically for HMs. Because with my rules, I'm saying that I can't catch a Pokemon for HM specifically if it's not shiny. Everything has to be shiny, like literally everything. So I had to get a Nidoran, and I luckily got one first try anyways, but yeah. Also, the starters in this game, technically, you can see if they're shiny on the screen that, like, you can select them. So I took whichever one I got first as well. And I got Chikorita. I love Meganium too, I will say. It's definitely makes this game particularly difficult, but I do love Meganium. Definitely has grown on me a lot. It does a lot better in the Kanto region in this game. Like, I've been enjoying it a lot more as I've gotten past the Johto region, because Johto's not very friendly towards Chikorita's line. First two gyms are flying and bug type. It's just so mean. Also, I did post clips of my shiny reactions to literally everything I found so far, other than the Gyarados, of course, because it's guaranteed. But I have posted shiny reactions on my shorts feed, on my shorts page, under my channel. If you want to check out my reactions, they're my 5 most recent shorts, so have at it if you want. Yeah, I'm hoping this Suicune shines. It's such a good shiny. And it would work really well on my team. I'm hoping to shine soon, I should say. I know it's eventually going to shine. Yeah, 322 was crazy. Because my only over odds hunt up until that point was the Eevee I got. So I was like, we're destined for another one. I was sitting in my chair getting comfortable. I was like, we're going to be here for like 10,000 resets probably. And it was like, it was on a stream where I was like so tired. I had like a long day. And like, it was like 1 a.m. or something. I wasn't expecting to get it. I was just trying to bang out a few encounters, and then I got it. And I was just like, why did it happen now? Why couldn't it have happened tomorrow morning when I was more energetic? My reaction kind of sucked, but it was still crazy. I remember I had trouble sleeping that night because I was like, I still had like the freaking jitters of me getting it that fast. I think that is my favorite shiny I've ever found ever. To date. That I've personally found, I think it's my favorite shiny. Yeah, I don't know why that dude said that. I saw that too. And I was like, it doesn't matter with Zubat because it's not like Zubat changes colors or nothing really changes about Zubat depending on its gender. With Nidoran specifically, I was hoping for a male because Shiny Nidoking looks way better than Shiny Nidoqueen. But I don't know why that dude, like, I was like, okay, so this dude's just sexist. That's cool. Doesn't even matter. Like, it's just it doesn't matter. Unless it literally changes how the shiny looks, I don't think gender matters on a Pokemon. Yeah, exactly. Like Nidoran, yeah. Like, I specifically wanted shiny Nidoran male over Nidoran female just because Nidoking looks way better. And also for Ralts, yeah, it depends depending on what evolution you want or something. Like if you want like a Gallade, yeah, you need a male. Already at 1300 now. It's the first 50 encounters of the stream. The good thing about this Suicune, given it's probably the best soft reset hunt I could do, other than literally the starters in this game, because of the increased odds and how fast the resets are, but the Suicune in terms of soft resetting for like a legendary in this game is probably the best hunt I could do for that specific situation, because of the fact that it doesn't have a crazy startup animation. There's no like dialogue it says. It just goes straight into the battle, as if you got a wild encounter. So I can get like 5 of these a minute on speed up, which is really nice. The encounter number was something that like it took me time to get used to. A, setting it up, but then B, also getting in the rhythm of actively keeping track of it every single encounter is hard to do. Like, I got better at it as I kept doing this whole process, starting from the Chikorita and then going, you know. Once I got to Eevee, I got so good at it because Eevee really tested my patience. It takes a couple shinies before you get pretty used to the whole. Like, at this point, updating my counter is a part of my muscle memory now. It feels like it's a part of the hunt. It doesn't feel like I'm doing a separate thing. Especially if you play on emulator, because usually, at least for me, the B button is backspace, which deletes a number. Yeah. $8,000 resets, bro. 8,000 resets for what, my Eevee? It's like 8,500, yeah. I was a little mad that that happened on the Eevee. Like, 8,500 resets or encounters or something isn't, like, that horrible. It's over odds, but, you know, it could be worse. I was just mad that it was the Eevee, because the Eevee encounters took so long. Like, this Suicune moves at about... Actually, I wasn't gonna... Nah. It moves a decent chunk faster. Like, in 2.5 hours, I can get about 750 to 800 Suicunes, whereas I could only get about 500 Eevees. It was just... Which is, I mean, you know, because of speed up, that's still great. Like, if that was a normal hunt, it'd be like, 500 is great for 2.5 hours, but given the fact that it's speed up, it is a little wild. Yeah, I hate when Pokemon does that, giving like really good Pokemon terrible shinies. I think Blaziken is a prime example of that. Torchic has a good shiny, and then they just decided to make Combusken a darker version of its normal version, and the same thing with Blaziken. And Blaziken's one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. So I got really mad at that. What's up, Nick? How we doing? Yeah, there's a lot of good Pokemon out there that just got scuffed on the shinies, but there are some good Pokemon that have even better shinies as well. Like, I think Hoa is a prime example of that. Yeah, I love Blaziken. Other than Rowlet, I would say it's my favorite starter. I love Rowlet. Rowlet's my favorite Pokemon of all time. I mean, Decidueye is also really cool. Decidueye is definitely up there too, but specifically Rowlet is just so cute. 1330. For our first 80 now, it's not bad. Making good pace. I swear to God, if I get another under odd shiny, this house is going to erupt. Because there's no way. Like, there's no statistical way that could happen. Because I feel like it's going to follow the Eevee pattern too. It's a weird looking dog. It's somewhat associated with Bill because of the fact that this encounter is right next to Bill's house. It was preceded by 2 under odd shinies. Like, it's got over odds written all over it. There's no way. Blaziken, Garchomp, Froakie. Froakie specifically, but Greninja made up for it, so I don't count that one as much. Zapdos isn't bad, it's just not, it's a little hard to notice. I like Articunos, to be honest. I think Articuno actually has a decent shiny. It's subtle, but I think that's a subtle shiny done right. Leafeons and Blissies suck. Snorlax, I don't hate Snorlaxes, but I do think it's like a little too subtle. Nidoqueens is probably my least favorite shiny of all time. Gengar looked okay in the older games, but definitely not now. At least this Mega has a good shiny. Regice, heavy on the Regice. Heavy on the Regice. I shiny hunted one of those, and when I was shiny hunting it, I literally had to wait until I saw my character trying to send out its own Pokemon before I could confirm if it was shiny or not. Like, I couldn't tell just upon the initial animation. I had to wait for the sparkles. And yeah, Elekid's. Elekid's is okay. It's just a little dark. It's just a darker yellow. I think it's okay. But to be honest, I don't even think the starter and Ho-Oh resets used up the luck on the Eevee. Because I think Eevee was... I think if it used up the luck on the Eevee, I think Eevee would have gone to double odds. I think Suicune is going to be our RNG Jesus here, and it's going to be the one hunt that is going to be the most encounters by far to make up for how good the other ones were. I used to hate Dragonite Shiny, but it's grown on me. I definitely think it could have been way better, but I don't despise it anymore. I think the purple and green should have swapped places, but I don't hate it. I can live with it. I will say that, yeah, like I said, the pink and green on it should have, or like the purple and green on it should have swapped places. It would have made more sense. And they kind of did something similar with Nidoqueen, where it's like, it was going one direction where it was just going to be purple, and then they just made it dark green, because why not? Nidoqueens especially made me mad, though, because both Nidoran lines had a cute little theme going with their shinies, that they were copying the other gender's normal form. Like, shiny male Nidoran looked like normal female Nidoran, and Nidorino shiny looked like normal Nidorina, and so on and so forth, until you get to Nidoqueen, and it doesn't look like fucking anything, it just looks disgusting. I kind of forget what Crocodile shiny looks like. I just remember the colors were really strange. Like, it was very abstract colors. Yeah, that Nidoran, the fact that they were going one way with the Nidorans, and it just turns into She-Hulk. That's crazy. Turns into She-Hulk is funny. Yeah, sometimes I don't understand what Game Freak is doing with these shinies, but hey, I'm not the one working there. Poop. Oh, yeah. Now I I kind of remember it. I think it's strange, but like from what I can remember of it, I think it's strange, but I don't think it's the worst shiny out there. Considering how awful those colors would be, I think it actually kind of works because it's a sand croc. Like I think if they gave those colors to like I don't know fucking Azumarill, that would be pretty diabolical. Which I mean, to be fair, Azumarill's is yellow. But it's like a brighter yellow. It's not like a corn yellow. I do want to start picking up more Pokemon challenges, though. I'm trying to think of what I can do after I do this, because I think I'm going to stream some other games that I find maybe on Steam or something. Because I try to stream any games I can. Recently, I've just been on like a really big Pokemon kick, so I picked up this challenge. But Pokemon is definitely something I want to integrate more into my channel, and I think for challenges, I'm either just going to find like cool ROM patches that like make the game like a decent bit more difficult, or like I'll just do Nuzlocke or something like that. Something that doesn't require like something that I can stream over a weekend and not multiple weekends, like this one. But I want to turn all of these streams because this is part 36 now. I have a lot of streams. Up just on this, and I'm gonna take a bunch of clips from these and make it a long form video, and it'll be cool. Yeah, I do want to stream some Pokemon challenge, some other Pokemon challenges. I'm making a content enhancement and difficulty increase for Fire Red. Not too difficult like Radical Red, but not easy. I'll let you know when it's done. Ah, okay. That's something I feel like that could be interesting. And if I really wanted to get crazy, I could add Nuzlocke rules to that. But that's interesting. That's cool. I didn't know you personally made ROM hacks. That's cool. That's sick, dude. I wish I knew how to do that. It's your first ROM hack ever. Hey man, it's good to you got to start somewhere if you want to get into it. I mean, that's cool though. How's the process of learning it? Do you like search up like videos on it and stuff, or do you already kind of have like creator called Hexmaniac Advance? I've been teaching myself over the last week or two. That's nice, dude. Do you think you're making good progress, or you still think you need to figure out a couple things? It sounds so interesting. Because I've used ROM patches before. Like I've done some of the ROM patches that like I forget what his name is. It's the dude that makes the ROM hacks for Small Ant. That's one of the dudes, but I think it's a different guy that like makes most of them. Ho spawns at level 45, and yes, we can spawns at level 40. @ sign, yes, @ sign, that guy. I've used some of his ROM hacks before on my own time. I've never streamed them. I did the Ruby one where every other where every opposing Pokemon had Wonder Guard. That one was really fun. That dude, that dude's a that dude's really good at what he does. Because the way I feel like the way to code that would be so like so difficult. You also have to think of a lot of things. Like you have to make sure that when you catch them, that they don't carry the Wonder Guard when they're in your party, and then you have to also take into account synchronize from Ralts. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Almost at 1400, by the way. Jeez. Pokemon Quetzal is a really good one. Pokemon Evolved is also neat, adding more evolution stages to each line in Kanto, like Charmander evolving past Charizard. That is a very interesting concept. So what is it, like fan-made evolutions, or is it like, does it evolve into its mega? Also, what's Quetzal? Just curious. What's Pokemon Quetzal? Or 1400 now, by the way. That's cool. That's solid. Moltres' back spray in Gen 3 looks so peculiar. I'm actually watching a small ant video right now while I'm doing this. Yeah, I mean, like, they evolve into really well-designed fake mons. Quetzal's a ROM hack of Emerald that adds Pokemon up to Gen 9. Oh, I think I've seen that, actually. I think I've seen that. I go to fallen Pokemon Z moves. You can pick any starter. Wow. And a few Pokemon, like Elekid, that aren't starters. Dynamax, difficulty modes, 100 plus outfits, and more. Very great. That's sick, dude. That's awesome. To put more work into a Pokemon game than Nintendo. And freaking Game Freak itself. That's something I definitely might check out. Then I definitely would experiment with. Yeah, the anime having the most beautiful and gorgeous animation you've ever seen, and the games barely having shaded textures. Yeah, to be fair though, I used to complain about the graphics, but I do think they're kind of charming in a way. I do think these 2D textures kind of have their own aura to them in a way. And also, I think it was less restrictions with the company and more so restrictions with what the 3DS was capable of running. Actually, no, that's not true because Gen 6 games finally added 3D models and they were able to make that run fine. So, yeah, no, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, 1414, yeah. I usually call out when I have a 4-digit number where the first two and last two are the same number, but yeah, the newer games I think are definitely behind graphics wise. I remember I saw some really funny comments when the Gen 10 trailer released where it was like Nintendo finally unlocked 2018, like 2015, 2016 graphics, I think. Not 2018, like 2015, 2016 graphics. It was really funny. I will say though, I do enjoy the older games too. I mean, sorry, the newer games. I enjoy the older games more, but the one newer game I particularly really loved was Legends of Arceus. I thought it was very unique, and I thought the story was really good. And it was the first Pokemon game that actually made me feel compelled to catch them all. Which not no Pokemon game has ever made me feel so compelled to do that. So I give that game a lot of props. I think it's really good. I don't know if the fans will consume any Pokemon game they produce, so they don't put as much budget in it as Gens 1 through 5. Yeah, like at this point, they kind of have their brand established, and then they know that people will just buy whatever now. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. One thing I do hate that they did with the newer games, though, I think this started in Gen 6. They started shiny locking the freaking box art legendaries. And then in Gen 8, they started shiny locking the starters. Which, that was annoying. Like, I don't even understand the purpose behind certain shiny locks. Like, I mean, I understand why they did it. It's because they wanted to make people get them through certain events or whatever, but I wish they just didn't shiny lock anything. I don't understand it. There's people that break shiny locks though, like they go into the game's code and they'll be like, well, I'm gonna get it. Shiny hunters are so patient because people be shining onto for over 30,000 encounters. At that point, I'd give up. I don't fully agree with that sentiment. That's actually very funny. I had this same conversation with somebody earlier today, about the same topic, about how people go so long. Like, why don't they just give up? If I personally went 30,000 encounters, I couldn't stop. I couldn't. Because then I would have just wasted all that time for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, I gotta keep going until I get it. Like, I'd rather sit there and risk going 70,000 knowing that I'm going to get it than go 30 or 40,000 for no reason. Like, the worst thing that could happen has already happened. I might as well just get the payout. Supreme Arcanines has phrased this better than I did. He's had this exact same conversation when he took 70,000 for his shiny Registeel. But, yeah. That's my idea, because it would just be a big waste of time. If you go like 1,000 encounters and you give up on it, you're like, I don't really want this anymore. Like, that's one thing. If you go 30K, bro, you gotta get it at that point. Like, you can't just waste all that time for nothing. It's not worth it. That's less worth it than going more encounters for the shiny. Because it takes dedication to get to that many encounters. I haven't even gotten to 30K across all my Pokemon yet. I don't even think I've gotten to... Have I even gotten to 16K yet? I don't even think so. I don't even think I've gotten to double odds across all of my Pokemon. Combined encounters. Technically for the starters, it's about 180, because 60 resets are seeing 3 at a time. About 180. The Zubat takes that up to about 2,300, since I took about 2,000 something. And the Eevee takes that up to about 11K. And then the Ho is like 300. Yeah, actually no, I did get to about 16K. About 16K total resets I've done. And that's for 5 shinies. Spending 30K on one, like, I mean, I have to get it at that point. And then once it's done, it's done for good. Sorry, I took a while to answer that. I spent like a whole minute harping on that, but yeah. This will easily be one of the hardest, maybe not, I wouldn't say hardest challenges, because I'm just playing through the game normally. This will definitely be the longest I've ever spent doing one challenge ever. It's the most patient I will have ever had to be for a challenge. And I've done a solo Bundle B run in Pokemon X, which required a lot of patience and a lot of resetting. But, you know, not as much as this. Sorry, my mom was talking to me. Oh, oops. Took an X for no reason. Getting closer to 1,500 though. I thought I'm almost through 250 already is actually pretty crazy to me. It feels like I didn't start too long ago. I'm flying through these. Yeah. Dude. It's so true. Like I really do get like less and less patient, and like I try to, well, not less and less patient because I still take the time to, but I feel like what a lot of shiny hunters, sometimes fail to do is take that extra second to look at the Pokemon right there before they reset. Um, but you can definitely hear the mashing get faster. That is true. I like trying to get through the resets just like a little quicker each time. You hear that especially during my EV hunt, dude. I was like, when I was menuing to check the EV, I was moving at like lightning speed toward the end of that hunt. Because I was like, oh my god, just fucking shine already. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's normal. It's just human nature. Like, of course, if you're doing the same thing, thousands and thousands of times over again, you're gonna want it to be over faster. But I never got impatient enough to rush my resets too much. By instinct run away from the encounter, I've seen that happen. Yeah, I haven't personally done that, but actually, I did that on a random Pokemon game on. It wasn't really a Pokemon game. No, it wasn't a Pokemon game. It was something similar to Pokemon on like Roblox. Um, but in a real Pokemon game, I haven't done that. But I've seen people like actively trying to catch a shiny, and then like they'll zone out for like a minute because either they're talking to their Twitch chat or their YouTube chat or whatever, and then when they when they finally start touching their game again, they just run out of instinct, forgetting that they were trying to catch a shiny. And then they'll start hunting again like normally, and then they'll realize like, wait, didn't I just have a shiny? Did I just run? That's funny. Shiny Wooper's a good shiny too, by the way. It's like pink. It's a good shiny. It's a good shiny. Point Crow is so interesting. I don't like him, I feel like, as much as other people do. I don't dislike him, I find him mildly obnoxious at times. I'm not sure if there's any serious Point Crow fans in my chat right now, but yeah, here we go, 10 until 1500. Chugging along. Ooh, yeah. It's good progress. It's good progress, Almost a sixth of the way to odds. It's like a little under a sixth of the way to odds. It's not too bad. I think my target encounter number before I stop streaming is probably going to be 2048. I think that's my target encounter number for right now. Get to exactly 1/4 of the odds. And then call it before I stream again starting Thursday this week, because I got school and stuff, obviously. I love how into it you get. Every time I hit like some sort of like, I used to, like when I started doing these, it's like getting to a new like milestone, like 1500 or 2000, I'd be like, oh wow, look at us go. But like now I've, done this a few times, and I'm like, at this point, I'm just hoping it shines. Progress is always good, but I'm just hoping it shines. Which, to be honest, I think this, given my luck, I think this speaking is gonna make me wait. I don't think we're gonna luck out again. I think Lady Luck has sung her last tune. I don't even know what that analogy was, but you know what I mean. I think we're gonna be here for a while, but if I can get more chatters, as time goes by, it gets a lot easier to do this and stay in it. Because what I will say, as coming from the streamer's perspective, on nights sometimes where I have only one chatter who chats every now and then, which is fine. I'm not bashing anybody. Or I get a night sometimes with no chatters, which rarely happens anymore, but I think it's happened once or twice. And I just kind of have to sit here and watch a YouTube in silence by myself, which is really sad and gets really boring really fast. But when I have people to talk to, it's nice. It's an enjoyable experience. It ironically is enjoyable at that point. My DHG counts every number as a milestone. 64, that's a Minecraft stack. 8192, that's old gen shiny odds. It's the number of... yeah. I do that too. In my head, I calculate, what's an 8th to odds, what's a 6th to odds, what's a 4th to odds. And I call those specific milestones out every single time and get excited when I hit those. And I did it a second ago when 2048 is 1/4 of the way to full odds. It's 140,096, depending on the context. Well, yeah, I mean, talk about old gen shiny odds, yeah. Talk about new gen shiny odds, it's 1/2048. But 1515, by the way. Caught it this time. I didn't catch the 1414, but I caught the 1515. 1516 now, woo. There it goes. Sometimes what I think about is I'm thinking, if you thought about this in a very different scenario where somebody was just sitting at their computer with a random number generator on it, set between 1 and 8,192 until it landed on the number they were thinking of. Virtually speaking, it's the same thing, but a lot more visually boring because you don't get the graphic of any Pokemon going across the screen or anything. It's literally just you generating numbers. Skip, bro. When does this game get good, chat? Literally. That's basically what it is. I know exactly what meme you're referencing too. That's funny. Skip. I'm sure you can especially hear it with mine because my keyboard is obnoxious. I have a nice keyboard, but it's very loud when it clicks. Click. Oh, so cute. So cute. Me when I got shiny Eevee. Oh, so cute. So cute. That guy has a meme for like everything. I swear to God. He has a meme for everything. Everything and anything on this planet that dude is a meme of. You deadass could just have one conversation with Aisha Speakless. I'm not laughing! I'm not! I'm not laughing! Literally has a meme for everything. Morphines and emanations. Dude, literally every time I scroll on TikTok or something, you like try to go into any TikTok comment section on a funny video and try to scroll and for like 100 or 200 comments and not see an iShowSpeed meme. Literally impossible. You will see one every single time. I think my favorite one is the one where it's just him, Ben, and Talking Tom, just like in a freaking news reporter room. He's just silent, waiting for one of them to say something, and then Tom just goes, "Hello." That one was always so funny to me. Yeah. I don't want a blue and purple Suicune. I want a blue and blue Suicune. Double blue. Give me 2 blues. Please, Speed, I need this. Me and my friends still quote that so often. Please, Speed, I need this. Every time we're playing a game and we're in like a desperate situation, it's the default phrase. It's the vocal stim. Yo, chat, why is this game so fun, chat? Kill that boy! Kill that boy! Every time I'm resetting, kill that boy! Kill that boy! More memes than frickin' Flight Reacts. Now I just got the idea of iShowSpeed playing a Pokemon game. I don't even know how that would go. If you threw that guy into Old Hoenn and had to make him try to get the the original Regirocks with no guide, and he couldn't stop his stream until he figured it out, that stream would go on for a week straight. The resurrection speed is like Goku versus Vegeta. That's a comparison, alright. Listening to a stream from the background, memorize his voice so perfectly. I would just make a whole lot video. Interesting. It's interesting. Shiny I have yet to get is Shiny Rayquaza. I have to get that one of these days because that's a really good shiny. I need to get my hands on that in some way, shape, or form. That one and the Shiny Mew hunt that you can do in the Gen 3 games. I forget which one it was. I think it's Emeralds, but I could be wrong. It was like a Shiny Mew event at some point that you can... use a little bit of hacking and still get it on like a get it in your file. I think something interesting actually would be doing a door randomizer. I think that's something I might do next. Either some sort of Nuzlocke, some sort of ROM patch that makes like, you know, one of the older games more difficult, and then I do Nuzlocke rules on top of that. Or just do like a door randomizer where I have to beat the game and all of the loading zones are randomized. I think that would be cool. What's good, Alex? How we doing? Welcome back. Did you see Usher Speed reunited with the kid from Please Speed? I need. Yes, I did see it. I saw the. That happened a while ago. That happened last year, I think. Or toward the end of last year, they recreated that meme. It's funny. So you sent me some things on Discord, Alex. Yeah, I saw. Let me, I'll look at them right now, actually. Hold on. That's Brawly, yeah. Brawly is, I feel like, one of the easier gym leaders in the Ruby and Sapphire games, and the Emerald. I mean, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I think he's one of the easier gym leaders. You just get your hands on a Talo or a Sableye, like, it's the easiest win of all time. Roxanne's also pretty free too, though, because literally all the starters are good against Roxanne. Under the assumption you evolve your Torchic before you fight her. Does Brawly look good shirtless? I'm not sure if I can comment on that. He is in shape. He looks cool surfing, I will say that, yes. I do not swing in that particular direction. 85 in game. Yeah, 85 hours in game. That's not including the resets. Also, one thing to take into account, though, is that I am on speed up, so that also factors into the time. I don't think I've actually, I probably have spent close to that many hours, or maybe potentially more if we're including resets, because Eevee on its own took me 40 real life hours before I got that. I think about 40 real life hours. I haven't done the exact math on that yet, but it took me a while to get Eevee. When we look at the streams, though, we'll be able to gauge more or less how much time I spent on this. There were a couple times where I had to do some off-camera stuff, like grinding the levels on my team up a little bit, or grinding battle points to get Thunderwave on Ho-Oh. But pretty much everything I've done in this challenge other than that has been streamed. Well, I mean, I was just joking about the shirtless thing. I mean, you can acknowledge a dude looks good shirtless without it being, you know, homosexual or homoerotic, but it just sounds that way. Like, there's no way to phrase it where it sounds fully heterosexual. But there's nothing against that. I don't have anything against what people do with their lives. It's not my business. Whatever they do is what they do. And as long as they're not hurting anybody, I don't give a fuck. They give newborn babies smartphones. I haven't seen that yet. I have not seen that. But my nephew got a freaking iPad when he was like 4 or 5. So they really are giving. I think we need to stop giving kids electronics super early into their childhood. I think kids need to enjoy the outside world for like the first like 7 to 9 years of their life before they even get introduced to a tablet. I'm not gay, but Brawley looks good shirtless. He has muscles, and I think he works out in the gym or something. Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. That's like the most straight way you could phrase that. Yeah. Okay, I just actually decimated that speak. Didn't even mean to do that. I think this is the most interesting conversation that chat has had in a while. About freaking Brawley looks good shirtless, but I'm not gay. Which, I mean, I'm not insinuating that anybody here is, but I'm not insinuating that it would be wrong either. Almost at 1600, by the way. At any moment, we will get our last shiny of this entire run. All we gotta do is beat the game at that point. And it'll go by quickly because we're in Kanto now. And I've already done Misty's Gym, which has a couple prerequisites to it. Like, it's pretty much smooth sailing once I get this Suicune. We passed 1600, look at that. Sorry, I zoned out for a bit. I have like brief moments where I like lock in on like the YouTube video I'm watching, and then I like come back to reality a little bit. Gotta not zone out too hard, because you know, I gotta pay attention to the Suicune becomes no longer purple. Alright, listen, game, I know I'm due for something over odds, but I'm just saying that small ant got. Sorry, I was mid-sentence. My mom was talking to me. I just forgot what I was talking about now. Sorry for the abrupt mute. What was I just talking about? I actually just forgot what I was talking about. I don't remember what I was talking about. That sucks. Oh well. I don't remember. Maybe it wasn't important. He gets playing as I mostly at school. One of those tablets when they get home. I mean, I feel like that's normal, but I feel like for like kids who are like 5, 6, I think they need to be outside more first before they are given some sort of technology, because they're obviously not going to utilize it responsibly. I think kids need to understand how nice the outside world is first before they're given a tablet or a phone. You shouldn't wait too late, because your kids should have a phone relatively early, because when they go to school, in case there's an emergency, it's obviously good to text your parent or whatnot. But you know, having it at like 5 or 6 is not the most necessary. Oh yeah, I do remember what I was just talking about. Listen, game. I know that it's taken a while. It's probably gonna take a while before I get the shiny Suicune, but I'm just saying that Small Ant got shiny Ho in 300 encounters, and then shiny Lugia, and shiny Lugia in about like I think literally 7 encounters at full odds. So like, if you want to throw me one more bone, I would appreciate it. Parents told me to have fun because they want me to play outside. First, I saw there's the phone was in risk getting broken or lost. Yeah, that too. Like, kids probably might not be physically responsible with it too. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a good parenting decision. Like, not having a kid until, or like at least an understandable parenting decision, not having one until middle school. I think 5th grade is not horrible, but having it when you're like a really young kid is not the best. Yeah, a lot of kids watch like a lot of the brain rot stuff on like YouTube Shorts over like shows on TV. One thing I will say about my nephew is that because I have a nephew that stays in my house a lot of the time, that he has a tablet, but he also does spend a decent amount of time watching TV, and he still goes outside a decent amount. So like, he's a little bit more responsible with that stuff than other kids, but he definitely is a little brain rotted with the whole iPad kid epidemic or whatever. Almost at 1650. Oh, I'm definitely feeling the fatigue setting, and this thing always happens where, like, when I'm hunting, I like have like a really big like rush of energy for like the first half of the stream, and then immediately I feel fatigue set in as I get, through the first half of the encounters, and then the last half is just me, pushing through it. $16.70. Getting close to 1700. I think I'm gonna take a little break at 1700. Get some water or something. Regroup a little bit. Try to catch a second wind, and then I'll finish out with another 350 or so encounters to end the stream. Nothing yet. But I do have, you know, my morale's definitely up knowing that I'm averaging as many speak moons as I am, you know. Mentally comforting knowing that probabilistically I won't be here for more than, you know, another 2 weekends or so. Before I get it. Because next Sunday I will hit about 7,500-ish. If I'm doing the math correctly, assuming I keep up around the same pace, I'll hit about 7,500-ish. Assuming I'm still doing this next Sunday. Which isn't bad, meaning that that following weekend I would hit that odds and above odds. Because I'm probably going to. What's up, Midnight? How we doing? Fitting name, because we're kind of approaching midnight. Less than 53 minutes. Sorry, less than 50. I mean, about 53 minutes left. It'll be midnight for me. But yeah, we're doing Speakoon. Getting closer to that famed 2000. Yeah, famed 2000 mark. Not famed, but it's a good milestone. I just accidentally demolished that Speakoon. At 1700, I'm going to take a little break to grab water and stuff and regroup. Hopefully get a second wind so I can do these last 350 or so encounters. But I won't be too long. Sunday you have mass from 10 to 11 a.m. Yeah, I think that's pretty standard. Nope, that's not right. Clearly I can't fucking count. No music to listen to, unfortunately not right now. I'll set it up when I come back from my break, because I was watching YouTube on the side which I muted my desktop audio so it doesn't cut into the stream. But to be honest, I'm not really even paying too much attention to it. I'm more so talking in my chat than anything, so when I come back from this encounter, I'll put music back on. Alright. I'm going to take a little break. Probably anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. I'm just going to grab water, clear my head a little bit, try to catch a second wind for these last 350 or so encounters. And I'll be back, and I will put on music. I'm going to get this encounter. I'm not going to look at it. You guys will see if it's shiny. I won't until I come back. This will be 1700. All right, I'm going to mute. I will be right back. All right, we're back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my hoe dancing for a couple minutes. Yeah, let's get some music set up for you guys. Hold on. Some music set up here. All right. I have something here. All right. All right. Why that? Jesus. Okay, there we go. All right, just 2 more seconds. I'm almost done setting this up. Sorry, this is taking a minute. All right. Sometimes when I get bored, I like to just close my eyes and see if I can just hear any shiny sparkles instead of looking at the Pokemon. Yeah, I don't keep my game audio on though, so I'm relying purely off my visuals. But when I was hunting on my DS, I was doing that. All right, tell me if you guys can hear that. Actually, I'm gonna switch this up a little bit. Tell me if that's too loud or anything. Like, does it blend well with my voice, or is it like a little loud? Sounds good? All right, I'll take your word for it. Let's get back into it. I think I'm gonna go to 2048 as my stopping point. We'll go 2048, call it a stream, and I'll follow up with this hunt on either Thursday or Friday, and we'll go from there. Assuming we don't get it tonight, but I mean, you never know. I don't think it's gonna happen, but you never know. I put non-copyright Diamond and Pearl music. Let me see if I can get something for you. This one's about to end anyways. I got you. That's Diamond and Pearl, right? I'm not tripping. Unless I'm dumb. Pretty sure that's from Diamond and Pearl. Like, I'm like trying to figure it out as I'm. Oh my god, I can't fucking type. There we go. That's black and white. Thank you. Now let's fix that. I immediately saw Drift Veil. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's Diamond and Pearl. It's not. It's too low and soft. I'll play it louder. Okay, this should be Diamond and Pearl. Okay, I don't really like that one though. Hold on. One second. There you go. Yeah, we are almost at 1717. That's true, Derek. That is very true. Some of the coolest legendary themes, in my opinion. Ten more what? On the volume? Or encounters. I'm doing way more than 10 more encounters. I'm going to 2048. Yep, there it is, 1717. Yeah, I'm doing more than 10. I'm doing more than I'm going to 2048. We're still here for a little bit. Don't you worry, Alex. We're gonna be here for quite a bit more. Do, do, do. Dog is also something I probably would want a shiny hunt at some point. Dog was my favorite legendary of all time. So that might have to be an adventure I delve into at some point. You guys can't see it, but I'm like actively dancing. Forgot how good these themes are. Do you guys have like a favorite poke theme from like a Pokemon game that you guys have? Can you get Dialga in Platinum? I actually don't know. I'm not sure. I know you definitely can get it in Diamond because it's a part of the story, but I mean, I think you can get it in Platinum, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I actually don't know. It's a good question. I don't know enough about Gen 4. But actually, you know what? I would guess no, because I think the same way that you can't get Giratina in Diamond, in Pearl, you probably can't get Dialga and Palkia in Platinum, I would guess. I mean, that's basically the theme I'm playing right now, Alex. I'm gonna switch back to some chiller music after this. I think my next Pokemon challenge will take place in Pokemon Platinum, though. I think that's the game I'm gonna go with. That's 1739, by the way. And that goes, I wanna be the very best. like no one ever was. That's the theme of the Pokemon anime, my friend. It's a classic. You can't not like that one. To catch them by real test, to train them is my cause. Yeah. Good pull. $17.45. Sadly, YouTube won't like you. I'm playing this stuff off of Spotify. Oh, YouTube, actually, well, I mean, I am recording this stream on YouTube. Sorry. Dumb. Yeah, YouTube would not like me if I played that. I mean, I'm sure there's parodies, but it's not the real... It's not the real thing. $17.50. Okay, why is it looping? I want to listen to the dive theme again. Stop looping. Yeah, the dive theme do be hitting. I will say that. I think Pokemon nailed its music in every respect for literally everything. Like, they even made the biking theme go so hard for no reason. Even the encounter music in Kanto, whether it's in this game or in the Red and Blue games or the Fire Red and Leaf Green games, just the normal wild encounter music is so goated. Like, it makes it sound like you're encountering a legendary. Goldenrod City has a little good luck charm for me. I think I was listening to the same one when I got Nidoran. That's Goldenrod City's theme. I wasn't there too long ago. Not long ago at all. A legendary Rattata, literally. Like, you can hear it in, you know, some of my earlier streams when I was just walking around in the grass in Kanto, you know, a couple streams ago, and I ran into a Spearow, and the music was so intense for no reason. It's like, it's a damn Spearow. Like, like, why are we dropping so much heat for a Spearow? Now, if it was shiny, that's worth dropping some heat for, but... Gotta love numbers that are palindromes. Pallet Town. This is very nostalgic. Imagine if an exclusive song would play if you encountered a shiny beyond just a sparkle sound. That would be cool. Like if shinies had their own theme. So like you got excited just hearing the wind up to getting it. That would be sick. It wouldn't affect me because I keep my game audio off when I do this. Because it would sound really odd sped up, but yeah. My Dipsoon, when do you stream for future reference? I'd love to join more of these. Sure. So, my schedule I've been doing for this specific challenge. Yeah, 777. It's good luck. From Thursdays to Sundays, I stream. I don't have specific times, but usually around 12 to 1 p.m. EST, sometimes 2 p.m. EST. I'll do an afternoon stream. And then I usually stream at night, sometimes anywhere between 9 to 10, or sometimes 11. I don't have like strict streaming times, but you know, I do like an afternoon and a night stream, Friday through Saturday for these hunts. On Thursday, I just do a night stream. That's like basically what my schedule is, though. Also, I'm glad you'd like to join more of these. Thank you for supporting. I love getting new viewers in here. It's nice to have more of you to talk to while I, you know, watch hundreds, if not thousands, of Suicunes go by my screen and leave as fast as they came. Yeah, don't forget to, you know, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff if you enjoy the content. It helps me out a lot. You like niche smaller streamers more than big ones? Everybody has their taste. There's a lot of... It's always good to support smaller creators in general. Because, you know, some people have some really good stuff out there, whether they're noticed for it or not. And you get to meet, you know, a lot of cool people supporting small content creators, because, you know, when you're not super big, like in my case, you know, just getting to meet, you know, a few viewers here and there is nice. It's like a small little, like, it feels like a small little friend group, like, basically, as opposed to just like a streamer on this chat. It feels like a little group of friends just talking about Pokemon, which I feel like is a much more friendly experience and a much more inviting experience than, like, you know, being in a chat with hundreds of other people trying to get noticed by, like, this, you know, Twitch or YouTube giant. I feel like I just said a bunch of nonsense, but yeah, it's good to support smaller creators, because you could find somebody that has some really good content, and you get to communicate with them easier than, you know, a bigger creator. Obviously, people that are, you know, up there, you know, can't, you know, talk to every single one of their chatters, because there's so many of them. Yeah, you can join our Discord if you want, by the way. That goes for you too. Midnight, you're already in, I think. I think you knew Alex before you even met me. Oh my god, dude. I just tweaked so hard for a split second. I, like, zoned out, and out of the corner of my eyes, I don't know why, that Suicune looked lighter and I thought I got it, but I was just tweaking after all. My heart jumped. I was looking for some song you could play and it was fucking blasting me because I forgot it was at 80 so I could hear you. Sorry, am I really quiet? I apologize. I could turn up my input volume if I'm too quiet, guys. I just can't speak super duper loud because I have people sleeping in my house. Pretty sure it was just a Streamlabs thing. I'm not on Streamlabs, I'm on OBS. My friend Evan uses Streamlabs when he streams. This is a lot easier. OBS is a little bit more complex, but I don't really use a lot of the complex stuff that OBS has to offer. Like, I know there's like hotkeys you can add and stuff, like very surface level with the technology that this gigantic freaking streaming software has to offer. Praying for you though, Midnight. I mean, you have yet to catch one of these shinies live, so I hope you're here for this weekend. I remember I felt bad for Nick and Alex when I got my EV because they didn't join when I got it. They joined like I think 30 minutes after I got it. I felt really bad because I had been there for literally every single stream leading up to the EV. So, yeah, I hope you get to be here for a shiny. Fingers crossed. Alex, I trust you won't miss it. You've been here for quite a few of the shinies, Alex. You were here for Zubat. You were here for... I think you were here for Nidoran. And I know you were here for Ho-Oh. I don't think you weren't here for Chikorita, though, and you weren't here... Because I don't think you had found my channel yet when I got Chikorita. I just got responsibility is like making sure I eat. That's so real. Yeah, man, it's all good. Like, if you have your own responsibilities, like, I'm not saying you have to come to my streams. Like, if you got your own shit, you got your own shit. Everybody has their own shit. But, you know, I just know you personally, because I know you've said that you wanna be here for one of the shinies, so I'm hoping. Show me your Pokemon team. I got you. Let's go through it right now. We got Horizon. We got Melon. Pistachio. Odin. Bird. And Loch Ness. Beautiful looking team here. Is a really good looking team. That especially looks so good. Shiny Hole looks so good, dude. Yeah, I don't even think I've never seen somebody get a full odd shiny live. I think I've seen somebody get a shiny from Masuda Method live once. I think I was watching like Patters' stream once, and I forget what the shiny was, but I remember watching him get one live. But yeah, I've never seen somebody get a full odd shiny live either. But from what I can tell from Alex and Nick, who have been here, I think Nick has literally been here for pretty much every single shiny except for Eevee. I think he was there. I know he was there for Zubat, Chikorita. He was there for Ho-Oh. He was there for Nidoran. Yeah, he was literally here for every single shiny except for Eevee. It's the only one he missed. And from what I can gather from Alex and Nick, that they get really into it when I get a shiny. Like, they get really excited just from, you know, seeing somebody else get a shiny. Even if it's not theirs, like, there's, like, I guess some sort of external reward for that. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, you kind of feel like you hunted it with them when you know, watch for as, you know, pretty much as long as I've been doing it. Which is why every time I get a shiny, I'm like, we did it. Because it's like, the few viewers I have are very dedicated, I feel like, with me. And they stick here pretty much the whole time. Which I really respect and appreciate. But the song Decisive Battle and Black and White. I can see if I can find a copyright-free version of that. Can't tell if this is DMCA free or not. We're gonna risk it. Fuck it. Did I count this encounter? I think I did. Oh, that's really personal, Alex. I'm not sure if I would share that, but you know, condolences to your friend Mella. That does not sound like an easy thing to go through. Alright, we've got about 200 encounters left before I call it a stream. Because your boy does have to go to bed. Gotta wake up for school tomorrow. But I've had a great time, you know, hanging out with y'all this weekend. Soft resetting. Praying to God. Something shows up. I mean, you know what? Even if this weekend doesn't shine, which I don't imagine it is, we got 2 shinies this weekend, which is more than I could ask for. I was just hoping for the Nidoran this weekend, and we got Nidoran and Ho-Oh, so I'm already over the moon about that. So this weekend, if you don't want to show up, it's all good. 22 nuggets and fire. Jeez, that's a lot of money. Did you do that Nugget Bridge glitch where you just lose to that same trainer over and over again? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the copyright striking is lenient in most cases. And also, it's not like I'm making money from this anyway, so it's not like I'm really affecting them, B, making money off of their stuff. So it's not like the biggest deal in the world, but it's also something I try to be conscious of. I'm going to switch back to the lo-fi stuff, because me personally prefer chiller background music. Do this one. This is 56. Yeah, because I know there's like glitch on Nugget Bridge where you can talk to the dude that gives you a nugget before you battle him, purposely lose, and just keep rebattling him and he gives you a nugget every time. You gotta make sure you have like zero you gotta make sure you either spend all your money though, or have 0 Poké dollars somehow before you battle him, so that he doesn't take money for losing to him. Yeah, it's the easiest way to get infinite money in that game is just doing that. Just catch a Rattata or something, and then box everything. Yeah, I think the dude that remixed that is like some crazy, like, either like rock or metal guitarist, from what I could tell from his profile that I could see. That's in response to you, by the way, Midnight. These damn Suicunes. So stubborn. Goddamn Suicunes. Okay. Sorry, I like choked a little bit on freaking air. I don't know what that was. A little bit of Salacion Town action. I see it. Excuse me. That was nasty. Getting close to 1900. You only played through PDSP, not original Diamond or Pearl or Platinum. That is interesting. I think I started a bunch of Platinum Nuzlocke that I never fully finished on like an emulator, but I've played through the entirety of Pokemon Diamond a couple times actually on my physical cartridge that I own of it. I will say, Pokemon Diamond, it wasn't horrible, it's just, it lacks certain Pokemon typings, to say the least, and I feel like the story does really drag at certain points. The story just feels so long at certain points. It's like the one, like, big flaw I feel like that Sinnoh has, is like, the story, while it's good, it just drags so long, and it gets really boring at certain points. Especially when you get to the part of the game where it's like snowing and you have to keep going back and forth and fighting all these freaking commanders. Just drags out, I feel like. But I think Sinnoh's Pokemon are cool. I think the gym leaders are sick. And Platinum's pretty good. I think Platinum's good. Diamond and Pearl, though, were not the best Pokemon games I've played. I think Pokemon Diamond is probably of all the Pokemon games I've played, is probably my least favorite that I've ever played. Pokedex in Pokemon Diamond is too limited. Yeah, I agree with that. If you don't choose Chimchar as your starter, and you need a fire type, your only option is Ponyta. Unless you trade from a different game, it's your only option. Which is really unfortunate. Yeah, swim speed was really slow. On top of that, even the health bars depleting were slow. There was so much slow about Gen 4. This game's a little bit... And what's funny is that this game went too fast-paced. This game was so fast-paced with the gyms that it was hard to catch up in levels. So they went the complete other direction in that regard. But I'd much rather a game that's a little too fast-paced, because, you know, grinding is always something I can catch up on in an hour or two, and it's not a big deal. Whereas a story dragging out too long is really... The thing is, despite how much Diamond and Pearl drag out, the leveling still sucks. You will be stuck with, like, level 50s, fighting Cynthia's level 67 Garchomp if you don't really do a lot of grinding. It is horrific. Yeah, you pretty much... In Diamond, you pretty much have to pick Chimchar. In Platinum, you have more of a choice. It's good that I like Chimchar. Chimchar is my favorite starter. But yeah. Ignoring the Team Rocket section I had to go through, yeah, that Team Rocket section was arduously long for no reason. But that was after I had beaten the 8 gyms. Or actually, was it after I beat the 8 gyms? It was pretty close to the end of the game. I'm not sure if it was after I beat Claire or before. I don't even remember. I just played through that part of the game and I don't even remember. So fast. My memory depletes with this game. I remember we had to save the dude in Goldenrod. Actually, this was toward the end of the game, but I think it was before Claire, if I'm remembering correctly. That was toward the end of the game, though. Because it was the second to last rival battle I remember in that tunnel. Yeah, that really big chunk of Team Rocket stuff was annoyingly long. 1900, by the way. It's like they put all of that story into that one part of the game, but the rest of which, I mean, I kind of like. I like the fact that this game isn't so in your face all the time. I feel like a lot of Pokemon games are like, there's constantly like something like you have to do every single gym. Like, I like that there's a lot more, you know, free roam, I feel like, in this game than most other Pokemon games, borrowing the Team Rocket section. Whereas that's like one issue I have with Pokemon X is like the rival was so clingy in Pokemon X. Like after every gym you were battling them. It's like, dude, like leave me alone. Like Jesus. The jokes in New Family Guy are cringe. New Family are cringe. I thought you were saying Family Guy. I was like, Family Guy does not have an anime. That would be really funny, though. We're nearing the end, though, guys. We only got a little over 100 encounters to go. New Family Guy? I don't know. I think some of the jokes are still funny. I don't watch a lot of Family Guy, but I think some of the jokes are funny. A little bit that I have watched. Okay, I gotta stop accidentally smiting down some of these Suicunes with extrasensory. That's for the shiny one. Which, for the record, I tested. Extrasensory, even if it's a crit, is not gonna kill Suicune. I think even if it literally has the worst special defense IVs, a lower special defense nature, and I got a high roll crit, it would still live in extrasensory. And I have to use extrasensory and not Fire Blast or Sacred Fire because there's the chance to burn, which is, you know, not ideal, to say the least. Because if I burn it, then my Suicune's on a time limit, which I don't want that. I don't need my Suicune on a time limit. I like my Suicune to, you know, stick around for a little bit before it leaves. Or preferably catch. This is not New Barktown, this is Route 29. I think it's Route 29 of this game, if I recall correctly. So I don't think you were far off. At least I believe. Yeah. Yeah, it's literally the route right after New Barktown. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. That's probably why you thought that. I don't want to really listen to Area 0 right now. It's not mine. Like a little bit of Cherry Grove, though. I honestly forget what game Area 0 is even in. I would guess it's a black and white thing, because I haven't played through the entirety of black and white in so long. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever actually finished black and white. I think the one, or black and white 2 is what I had on a physical cartridge. I don't actually think I've ever finished that game. I think the furthest I ever made it was to Getsus. Because I was nuzlocking it on an emulator. Like, I had a physical cartridge that I made it really far and then I just never finished it. And then I played it on an emulator. I was nuzlocking on an emulator for a while. Made it all the way to Getsus and lost. I actually I've never beaten Black and White. Or Black and White 2. I really liked the games. But for some reason I just never finished them. Maybe I'll do that instead for my next Pokemon. Maybe I'll do Black and White for my next Pokemon challenge then, because I gotta finish it. Because I can't say I played a game of every gen if I haven't technically finished Black and White 2. Scarlet and Violet? I haven't played Scarlet and Violet either. Well, I mean, I've played Scarlet and Violet. Sorry. No, I didn't mean that. I've played Scarlet and Violet. Wait, hold on. Did I just... Give me 1 second. I don't know if that's 1938 or 1939, that encounter. I played through Scarlet and Violet, but I haven't played through it in a while. Is what I meant to say. Yeah, this is 1939, this encounter. Correct. Okay. I guess I kicked my ass so hard I looked up how other people beat him and it helps, but yeah. Yeah, no, I was so annoyed. I had such a good team. I think I had, like, Gothatel, Gigas, which was, like, hard carrying my team. I think I had Embor. I had a really good team for a Nuzlocke. I think I had Moxie Crocodile, and I still couldn't beat him. I literally couldn't. It made me so upset because I was so close to beating that Nuzlocke and then I whited on fucking Getsus. And I was gonna allow myself to Master Ball the Cure, not use it, but Master Ball it to, you know, bypass it. I might do my next Pokemon challenge in Black 2 and White 2 then, because I haven't. Technically, I've never finished those games. I've never done the Iris battle. I have never experienced firsthand how bad her Axorus is. Only heard the rumors. But if it's anything like the Cynthia rumors, I think I'll be fine, because people overhyped the fuck out of Cynthia, and then I fought her and defeated her with a level 51 Floatzel. Yeah, his Hydreigon is nuts. They don't play around in those games. They made those games difficult. In terms of difficulty, that's about as hard as a Pokemon game's gonna get. Also, less than 100 encounters away before I end the stream. I'm ending at 2048 as a reminder. Iris's champion is Black 2. Yeah. Yes. And then N is Black and White, if I remember correctly. Unless I don't remember correctly. All I know about N, because you don't really see him in Black 2 and White 2, is just the infamous cutscene of him taking you on the Ferris wheel date and being like, by the way, I'm the leader of an evil organization. I terrorize Pokemon. I'm the leader. I think it's Team Plasma, if I remember correctly. Oh, Lily Cove. I'm a Hoenn boy myself, so nice to hear some hometown music. The day I do a challenge in a Hoenn game, which I mean, I kind of am. I mean, I still have to finish that Emerald Nuzlocke series I was doing on Shorts. I do still have to finish that. That I need to get to and finish after I beat this. Can't forget that. But the day I do a Hoenn challenge live on stream is the day you guys will hear just a little bit more joy and whimsy in my voice. Not because I don't like other Pokemon games, but because Hoenn is my favorite region. You actually don't fight yet. That's so strange. 75 is crazy just to fight Alder. Yeah, that's insane. The natural leveling in this game is particularly bad too, though. I've seen people go into the fucking red battle with a Pokemon in their party that's still in the level, like, in like the level 30s range, or the level 40s range. Like, to get my, keep in mind, my team is still under leveled for this point in the game. And this is after actively grinding for the Elite Four. My team is only slightly below Lance's level, and the freaking Hoenn gym leaders outlevel my team to a severe amount. Like, when I get this Suicune, I think I'm gonna have to do one last off-stream grinding session to just get my team to, like, the low-level 50s. So that I can play through the rest of the Kanto region, you know, with, like, a normal level team. And then when I fight Red, I'm not gonna go super crazy when I fight Red. I think if I get my team to, like, level the 665, I'll be okay. Like, I've beaten Red with a team of mid-level 60s before. But I also did have access to a level 70 Ho at that time because I had Soul Silver. So, maybe I need to get up to level 70s then, I'm not sure. Probably at least high levels. Maybe I'll try to get to high level 60s for when I fight Red. That's gonna be difficult though. So I might have 2 more grinding sessions in my future. Oh, don't even talk about Lieutenant Surge. He wasn't even that bad. I was beating his ass. And then I got to, I think it was his final Electrode. And I literally just couldn't hit it. I literally just couldn't hit it. I had a 1 in 3 chance to hit. Of 20 Petal Dances, I think my Meganium hit 1. Fuck that Electrode. To the moon and back. The moon and back, fuck that Electrode. Yeah, I don't think that's how that works, Midnight. If I had a couple more levels, it would have made a difference. I don't think so. But a couple more levels would definitely help with how well I can tank hits and deal damage, which is, you know, why I'm going to do that once I get the Suicune, also because this Suicune's level 40. Yeah, I think I have 2 grinding sessions in my future. The Red battle's gonna be weird, though, in terms of the grinding. Because I don't really want to do grinding on stream, because I know that's gonna be so boring to watch. But I also don't want to make fighting Red its own stream, because that would be a really short stream. So either I'd have to do grinding on stream, or I'd have to make fighting Red its own separate stream. Or I'd allow myself to hack in rare candies just for that specific battle, but I really want to avoid that if I can. I guess I'll see when I get there. I'll see how bad my levels are first when I get there. gonna grab the Miss Magius on Mount Silver and level it up a ridiculous level because I liked the Pokemon. Fair. Mount Silver also has a lot of high-level Pokemon, so the grinding actually probably wouldn't end up too bad. Like, if I had to do it on stream, it probably would be boring to watch for like a solid 30 to 45 minutes, but I think I'd get up to the levels I'd want decently fast. I mean, to be fair, it probably would be more entertaining to watch than, you know, this. I just typically do my grinding off stream when I can. Because it's like, especially during the points when I already, you know, have all my shinies that I want to get, given where I'm at in the game. It's like, I know I don't want to start a stream where I'm only going to be live for 2.5, 3 hours and spend the first hour of it grinding on my team. I'd rather do that off stream and then spend 3 hours getting through the story. Obviously, like, we already did the hard part, which was watching me, you know, try to get the shiny. 2,000, by the way. Like, I'm not going to put my chat through more boredom. But, you know, I think the grinding for Red won't be that bad, considering I'll be on Mount Silver at that point. I could get a shiny. That it is more entertaining in that regard, knowing that it could show up at any point, I guess, yeah. Whereas grinding is like, it's just fucking grinding. $45 more encounters, I'm gonna call it, guys. We're ending at a clean 2048. Nothing more, nothing less. Because that's exactly 1/4 of the odds, so I feel like it's a good stopping point. Unless Weekend wants to shine in these next 43 encounters, I would not mind that. Otherwise, we're going to have to try to get it this weekend. If we don't get it this weekend, we're going to have to go next weekend. But I'm just saying, Suicune, if you show up tonight or at any point this weekend, I could title my long form video how I got a full odd shiny team in under a month. Oh yeah, there's also probably a bunch of your guys' birth years popping up on screen right now. Mine already passed. I think 2010 is roughly when this game came out, if I'm remembering correctly. I think it literally says it on the title screen, I could check. Yeah, 2010. We're doing stay-at-home orders in 2019 because of COVID. Yeah, I mean, I was like in 9th grade at the time. I was just bed rotting. I was a very antisocial kid, so it didn't. In that moment, it didn't affect me mentally, but afterwards, it definitely did. I feel like I de-aged because of COVID. Like, I feel like mentally, I was set a couple years back because of COVID. It was detrimental in a lot of ways. I'll pretend the encounter you get it on is the year I'm alive too. You better hope I don't get it soon. For your sake, you better hope it's not soon. You also better hope it's not too late. Like, you're probably, if I were you, I would hope it would be in, like, my encounter number would be, like, 2070 or 2080 or something, or 2090, something around that range, if I was you. Because if this takes like 17,000, you're gonna be around for a little too long, dog. I don't think anybody wants to be around for that long. I sure don't. I think immortality is not a superpower the way that some people make it out to be. It is. I think immortality is the worst thing you could put me through. I think immortality is unironically one of my worst nightmares. And I think the propaganda of phrasing it like a superpower is horrific. That shit would be the worst thing ever. Also, we're gonna hit our current year, 2026. And there she goes. I don't know who composes the Pokemon music, but that dude is incredible at his job. Only cool if you have a way to guarantee that life will never get boring. Yeah, maybe. But that would be impossible. Because at a certain point the sun's gonna explode. Everybody's gonna be gone. No planets nearby. You'd have to fly to other planets and hope, or like, you know, navigate your way through space while you're in constant pain, suffocating but not dying. Which, because immortality isn't you don't feel pain. Like, you will feel like you are dying, but not fully die. And you will have to endure that until you find a planet that your body can sustain and there's life on. Which, that'll take you God knows how long. And there might not even be life out there. Like, I would rather just not go through that. That sounds like a fate worse than death. Being stuck in the middle of space forever. And that's inevitable. That's going to happen. And I feel like even conventionally cool and fun things will become boring. Like, what do you have left to see after, like, 100,000 years? You know what I mean? Like, what could possibly interest you? But yeah. Yeah, find the nearest black hole, and you still wouldn't die. You can't die. You can only feel pain. Five left, guys. The final 5. If it doesn't shine tonight, I'm gonna have to catch you guys on Thursday or Friday. Doesn't shine in these next 4, we ain't getting it at all tonight. But that's okay. At the very least, we made a great amount of progress. We made it a 4th of the way to odds, which is pretty good. Alright guys, here's the last weekend of the night. If it's not now, it's not tonight. I'm gonna spin around in my chair. Oh, never mind, I couldn't even do it because I couldn't adjust the encounter number. Whatever, that was lame. Alright guys. We did not get it, unfortunately. But at the very least, we made it a 4th of the way to odds. That's pretty good progress. That's very good progress as far as I'm concerned. I'm happy with that. I will be back Thursday and probably the rest of this weekend to hopefully finish out this hunt. But if not, you know, hopefully we'll get it the weekend after. Yeah, that's all I've got for y'all tonight. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for keeping me company. Thank you for being very active in the chat. I always appreciate it. If you guys have friends that you think would like this kind of content or want to watch along, please share my content with them. I would appreciate that. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sure all of you have, though, at this point. Yeah. That's all I've got. That's all I've got, guys. Thank you for joining me. I will see you all either Thursday or Friday. Yeah. Have a good week, everybody. And a good night.